Ahoy mateys and welcome back.
This is actually a special video in my Rebel Trick Guide, as most of the things I'll say today do not only refer to the Rebel, but actually work on any Hurdy Gurdy, or most of them at least. One of the most frequent subjects I see popping up on Facebook pages, groups and things about the Hurdy Gurdy are about strings. For one main reason, there are no Hurdy Gurdy strings. Okay, this sentence might sound a bit strange to you, but what I mean is that there is, to date, no manufacturer making specific sets of strings for Hurdy Gurdys. That means that not only you cannot go to your favorite musical store and ask for give me a set of Hurdy Gurdy strings. That will not work. First of all, because you will probably have to explain to the clerk what actually Hurdy Gurdy is. But secondly, because they will have none, and that goes also for online stores. Of course, there are a few people making and selling especially gut strings intended for a series of historical instruments, such as the Hurdy Gurdy, but also viola da gamba and other instruments anyways. Savarez is one of these, for example. But yeah, you will not find a specific set of Hurdy Gurdy strings. But then if you're watching this video, you probably know that already, don't you? So, the reason this subject pops up so frequently on discussions is because it's quite hard to find the best strings for your instrument. So let's be honest, most of those posts were written by myself, looking for the right set of strings. But anyways, with experience, I have found out that a lot of strings suck, and that's what I'm going to tell you today. So, first off, advice for beginners. Probably the person who built your Hurdy Gurdy has also built many others, and it is very likely that he also plays them to an extent. That means that the strings you have on your instrument as you buy it are probably, if not the best strings ever, they are a good compromise, or at least they work properly on that instrument, and they should be kind of fine most of the times. But then of course you might want to change them because you need a different tuning, or you need something specific. So my advice is not to change the strings you get at least before 1 month after you purchase the instrument. Also because they will probably have to settle, and that will take time. So first, try cottoning and rosining differently and try different tunings, but don't change the strings. At least for 1 month, but that's just my general advice for beginners. Then, if you seriously want to change strings, here's a few things you might want or not want to buy. First, I started off with these guitar strings. Cheapest option, easiest to find. A guitar fifth string, so that should be an A string, is probably one of the best options for beginners. It's cheap and it plays kind of well, it's loud enough, and it can be tuned to something a bit lower. In my case, I managed to use these in D and to a lesser extent in C. It's respectively C3 and D3 on the keyboard. So these are, in my experience, still one of the best options. Look, this is Sound Station. It's a crappy brand, but any guitar string will do basically, as long as it is nylon core and silver wound. So inside it's a classical guitar string, not an electric guitar string. It should have the nylon inside. The second option I went for are cello strings. The cello is a wonderful instrument. I always wanted to play the cello, but apart from that, cello strings are not that different from Hurdy Gurdy strings. My first attempt was with these, the cello C. As you might have noticed, this is broken. Yeah, I broke it just trying to tune it. I managed to play it for like 3 or 4 minutes, and the price of this, well, I don't want to talk about it really. So cello C strings, not really recommended. You probably end up breaking them, and then they're rattly, and that not a good idea really. Then I went for the G, same instrument, the cello G string. As you may notice, this is still intact. I had broken a few while tuning, but this is still intact, and they work fine. I like them. I expected them to be a bit louder, since they are quite thick and a bit deeper in tone. The tone I like. It's full and I don't know, how can you actually describe sound? Whatever. I like the sound of these. There are a few videos I recorded with these strings. So yes, a good option, though not as loud as you might want them to be, and very hard to tune unless you are using mechanical tuners. How can you use mechanical tuners if you don't have them on your Hurdy Gurdy? I have a guide. Again, check the link somewhere around here. And this is the brand I'm using. Lenzner Musikanten. Yeah, whatever. Then I got a reply on Facebook telling me to buy Yonex badminton strings. This kind of thing. Yes, it is a badminton string. You know, the stupid sport with rackets. Yeah, that's badminton for you. Now, I have been told that these were very durable. You got like 10 meters of string inside one single bag, and they're so durable you could actually play them without cotton. Yes, I've tried that. Yeah, they are very durable. No, I mean, now before I actually tell you how crappy this thing is, I'll let you listen to a sound sample so you can figure out for yourself. I don't mean it was bad advice. I mean, I don't mean it was given with a bad intention. I mean, it's just that, no, I don't buy this. I mean, that's my opinion. It works. It kind of works a bit better as a trumpet, but still, Eventually, I turned to viola strings. Now, the viola is the kind of thing between the violin and the cello. Whatever, you probably know better than I do. Viola strings are very short, so before you even buy them, check that they actually fit in your instrument. So measure the distance between the nut of the hurdy-gurdy up until the end to the tuning peg, and check that you can actually use that string on your instrument. I think it works with like 90% of hurdy-gurdys, but then, you know, there's always that 10%. I went for the Dario Pro Arte string, a C string again, and I have to say that to date this is for me the best option. They are not much different from guitar string as thickness, that you can tune them in C or D again, or something a bit higher up the scale. But compared to guitar strings, they are brighter in sound, they rattle a bit less, they tend to have less of those problems guitar strings have sometimes, and they're a wee bit louder than guitar string. If being loud is one of your issues, the cello C is, for me, to date, the best option. It comes with a price, of course. They're not all the same, and the one I bought on eBay, on Amazon, are actually quite expensive. But then, it is the one string I would recommend to anyone playing on that range between C and E. say. So I'm sorry if I've confused you, but you will find the description for every single string in the description below, with a very short summary and the link to buy them somewhere. And yes, you also have the link to buy this if you're really passionate to use badminton strings. You can do that. Yeah. So click on the links, buy your favorite strings and play and have fun. And also, if you got something else to say, if you have a favorite string which I didn't mention in this video, just write it in the comments. Yes, do that now. You hear me? And what are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel. I can see you're not subscribing. It's the red button, it says subscribe. Yes, and there's a bell beside that. Also click on the bell. For fuck's sake.